Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Remember Me. So we've got to remix our father's memory and have him kill me in this memory where he remixed my memory. And so we may get into a point where we get in the remix of our own remix. I don't know what this really causes or changes, frankly, because in the end, I guess he'll just destroy Memorize in despair or kill himself, as we've seen before. And frankly, I don't care enough about this game to try to go in
very soon
in a different order. Like the way this is supposed to happen,
since when he was bad,
I think is the idea that
be still now. I'm going to make everything right again.
It feels like rewinding a little bit would have found a glitch, and then I could have seen one ending. And then you're supposed to just retroactively go back to the second glitch. Hack Glove. Remix the remix. Seriously, is that the only thing I can do? Yeah.
Nilin? Well, how do you feel?
So, yeah, it seems
Mummy
like
hates Jax.
No. Why? Did he do something bad?
No. No, he didn't. Now run along and play now.
Yeah, the other remixes do feel like they
Love you, Papa.
could have been instances of going back retroactively from the end, but I've always simply gone back to the beginning.
I found a cure for misery.
The camera's flying around differently here, so you have a fixed camera angle the first time you see this cutscene.
I'll take all your hurt
then
away.
you just have a floating camera
and we can be happy again.
that rotates. Which means theoretically there were entire glitches
the whole world from pain
that you just wouldn't have been able to see the first time. And we're still in that weird system where you have to hold upward when you see a glitch. Yeah, and it seems like there's no glitch other than the one glitch.
I'm going to hurt my little girl.
So you have to wait for the glitch to show. There we go. Altering memory of my altered memory. Which still leaves the door open for the twist that this is all just happening in Nilin's head. And since the story is so centered around her and her family, it is possible that we could have a sequel with Olga. We've already seen this though, so it's just gonna happen slightly different from the perspective of the daughter instead of the wife.
Is everything all right? You should have been home hours ago.
They started work on the Mary Ferrick. I had to take a detour through New Belvic when traffic was bad.
Did you find Jax?
And see, he's doing the same remix that I did.
Next year, you're the one in birthday detail. Your daughter has been impossible ever since she saw me buy her
So it
gift.
seems like you can only do a remix
Did you have the time to
in
read my memo?
relatively limited ways.
Hello there, my little smart.
Oh, she has white streaks in her hair even before the
Charles, I'm
accident.
not convinced the clients are going to accept your idea.
That's weird.
Storing memories seems like a more commercial argument to me.
Can you walk on your
Can't you
hands?
imagine the possibilities? Human memory management.
I
We'll
wish
talk
I
about
could
it
do
tomorrow,
that.
okay? Right now, I'm thinking it might not be such a
you
bad
hungry?
idea if your daughter would forget it was her birthday.
I'll take some food with us if you like.
Yeah, so it's almost like she has white streaks in her hair because of fashion.
I wondered why it has gone so quiet. I should punish you, my dear.
Clearly, this
but
is
the two
just
of you are
a
so adorable together.
this is just a reuse of the previous memory. This is just they ran out of budget. Trigger a memory bug. Alright. So now the only difference is it's exactly the same memory. It's just will memory bugs even happen if I'm rotating backwards this way? Like, I'm not really seeing any.
I wondered why it's gone so quiet.
And see, this was the only memory that was good, where we made something happen. There's a
Can't
glitch.
you imagine the
Electric socket, short circuit. Let's see what that
I
happens.
wish I could do that.
human memory management?
Are you
Let's see what
hungry?
happens here.
I wondered why it has gone so
I'll
quiet.
take some food with us if you like.
I should punish you, my dear. But the two of you are so
me neither.
adorable together.
What's your favourite colour?
Didn't seem like that did anything different. Alright. So just changing the electric socket doesn't do anything.
Mary Ferrick.
Let's see.
I had to take a detour through New Belleville and traffic.
LCD screen turn on.
Go, Jax! You're the best!
Did you find Jax?
Jax! Jax!
Wait.
Yes, I did.
So it's almost like I'm supposed to be fighting against his remix,
Jax.
Jax! Jax!
which is happening.
Yes, I did. And next year, you're the one in birthday detail. Your daughter has been impossible
See,
ever
I'm
since she saw me buy
gonna
her
be a
gift.
little bit slower on this than the previous memories. We kind of just barreled through those.
Did you have the time to read my memo on memorial therapy?
Charles, dear, I'm not convinced the clients are going to accept
Let's
your
see.
idea. Storing
Honestly,
memories seems like
if the
more
game
commercial
had
argument.
With Mummy!
had us play as kind of just an anonymous psychologist memory remixer, and
Right
then
now,
it
I'm
told
thinking
us
it might not be such
you
a
would
bad
get
idea
more
if your
points
daughter would
and
forget it was
and
her birthday.
by playing these memories and finding different endings, that might
Imagine the possible.
that might be better.
I wish I could do that.
Human memory management.
Are you hungry?
I wondered why it has gone so
I'll take
quiet.
some food with us if you like.
Yeah.
I should punish
If
you,
they
my dear.
had just
But the two
focused
of
on
you
the
are so
memories
adorable
and said,
together.
look, here's 5 memories, you've got to do them all and find the multiple outcomes. There have been a few games like that have tried to do that, but they've been a little too long. The Telltale games are sort of like that. I'm tired of, at this point. It seems like, for the most part, these glitches are the same things we saw in the previous memory. So this is quite a boring repetition. Hardly the end of the game worthy. Wait, Nilin's. Alright. And gotta just get it just right. It would be really nice if there was a glitch that that was around. What am I trying to say? Yeah, it's the cup holder, it's the seat belt, and that's it. So we kind of already know what to do. It's retract the cup holder so it spills. Remove the seat belt so she's free.
Zilla, darling, is everything all right? You should have been home hours ago.
They started work on the Mary Ferrick. I had to take a detour through New Belleville and traffic was bad.
Turn on the LCD screen. No, don't turn on the LCD screen. That way she won't quiet down.
Did you find Jax?
Jax! Jax!
Yes, I did. And next year, you're the one in birthday detail.
And see,
Your daughter
they should
has
just
been impossible ever since she
short
saw me buy her
circuit
gift.
the car or Jax or something
I spent the day at the lab.
when she spills the
Do you have
coffee
the time
on the
to read
socket.
my memo on memorial therapy?
Charles, dear, I'm not convinced the clients are going to accept your idea. Storing memories seems like a more commercial
Just
argument.
shocks with Mummy.
Hello there.
Was there a glitch from like really far away? There is. Windshield break. Right. Oh, this thing is so sensitive.
More commercial? Arguments.
And
You're broken. He's not moving at all.
now his
Moving at all. It's all.
So I don't want to undo the. So that spills the coffee on Jax. And there's no glitch there. He just gets electrocuted. That looked a little bit like a glitch.
Broken.
How this is supposed to kill Nilin in the
I
memory?
promise I'll take
I
care
don't
of him
know.
as soon as we get home.
There's a glitch.
As soon as we get...
There you go. So we can repair Jax.
home.
Is Jax broken forever?
You see? Your robot is going to fix himself.
And he's gonna plug himself into the power outage. And that's what we needed. A short circuit in the electric socket. So 5 things.
Oh!
Jax!
Nilin, stop! That's dangerous!
Now you can't remember your own death. The game has told us this from the word go. So this is a bug. Why he could put a bug in Nilin's memory, or why he even thinks he could do that, is slightly confusing. And they're gonna show a dead body falling up from the car, I guess. Or they're gonna show Jax's dead body. Yeah, with just her in the corner, that they could have easily censored that out. It's kind of a dark solution for the final memory remix of the game. Yeah. So there really feels like there's only 3 memory remixes. Remember, we're remixing the remix, so now this should maybe introduce some more bugs into our father's mind. And now we can...
Nilin!
yeah.
Oh my god.
Never experiment
What
on
have I
your
done?
kids. So maybe bugs and remembering your own death just causes you the siege, and the game was just not letting you do that to people. And we're probably gonna see this memory and then remix something else and rewind. How does this make your father act any differently though? Like, he wanted you to forget pain. He still very possibly would use the technology that already exists to make himself forget this pain. So why wouldn't he just immediately remove those memories from himself right now?
Nilin. My child.
And there's your
Forgive
Jax
me.
from 20 years
I wasn't
ago.
naturally gifted. I was just a good student.
You were his experiment, Nilin. Break him. Do it.
You're not seeing Edge's image.
Oh, Edge. What a tragic waste.
Stop. Nilin? The remix. It's very clever.
You must stop everything. Papa. The experiments, the abuses, the lies. The entire world is dying from an overdose of amnesia and false memories. The horrors I
Good
have
speech
dug up.
so far.
It all seems so perfect. So noble an idea.
No, Charles. From the very beginning, it was a bad idea. You used your own daughter as a guinea pig. And your wife too, if I'd let you.
You never forgave me. Why are you here
She sure
today?
showed up out of nowhere.
Because I loved you. And because you're still a genius. There's a civil war out there, Charles. Hate. Fear. Riots. Pain. Everything you set out to eliminate. It's our fault, Charles, and it has to stop.
We're nearly there.
We must cut the flux relay at its source. Disconnect H30.
The security system is impossible to breach.
For you?
Unless-
It's impossible to breach.
It is time.
Unless both you and I authorize access. Together.
Et voila.
Edge is getting way too
That's why
excited
you
about
sent
this.
me to remix them. Only they could authorize access to the central server.
Now it's your turn, sis, to finish the job.
Access protocol to H30. Vocal validation.
Standing by. Memorize.
Hominis evolutio.
I see no reason why
Access to memorial servers authorized.
why he would lock himself out of anything. It's kind of ridiculous to have a secret panel.
You're a better, stronger Cartier Wells than either me or your father. I'm proud of you, my daughter.
Here. It's for you. I don't need your memories anymore.
But see, now that you get
When
your
you were
memories,
little, you often
would you
came down
change
here
your
to
mind?
visit me. These memories will help you find your way.
or are these just going to be remembrances?
Thanks.
We really don't need remembrances.
You're welcome, my little smarty.
We'll be waiting for you here.
That's awkward. Why don't they just all go together? Like, who's running the show
H3O is
here?
going to be disconnected. You did it, sister. You'll have done in a day what the heiress failed to achieve in over a decade.
But we're still outlaws.
With your connections, I wouldn't worry too much.
I'm finally going to meet you then.
Yes. Follow the remembering that your father gave you, and this will all be over.
How am I going to be able to disconnect H3O?
Just like any other machine.
Edge! Edge! Edge!
Like, is it automatic defenses? They never said the phrase automatic defenses. Are they going to be scare mechs? Let's see. Am I standing on a remembrance?
Hurry up, Jax. Papa doesn't like it when we hang around down here.
It seems like there's glitches and rot growing on the servers. And we didn't activate that remembering, so apparently it's just going to happen. And the servers are going to move in the way. We're just in a long walk sequence. We've already had our kind of run down the hallway sequence, so this is a little repetitive. And so are these the cause of leapers right here? The idea that
Jax, don't leave me alone.
that the memories have gotten corrupted, memories of people. The question is, there like a constant feedback loop or something that's going on that is taking these corrupted memories and putting them back in the heads of humans? Because humans by their own have bad, damaged, wrong, false memories all the time, and while that's not the worst problem in the world, it's never turned anybody into a leaper, at least. Highly unlikely you would have all these servers and not need massive amounts of technicians, or at least robots, to maintain
I wasn't a
these,
very happy little girl.
cool them.
Jax was truly your only friend.
There you are. You weren't answering me.
I hadn't relived your memories for a long time. I almost forgot how much they hurt.
How's that? Relived?
So much pain, sister. And for such a long time, so empty, so true.
Edge, you're starting to scare me.
Keep going.
Really? You should have been
little
afraid
sister.
of him a while
H3O
ago.
must disappear.
You should have been afraid of him after he flooded the slums or flooded the rich district. She's turning a insanely naive blind eye to Edge. But inevitably at this point, since we're at the end of the game, even if we do get a twist, we're either going to fight him, like fight Edge and kill him rather quickly, or that's just going to
enough.
be...
Now give me your hand. We're going to be late.
I hear a scare mech, which honestly this game shouldn't have a scare mech in it. And I hear it. If trust my ears. Over here. I thought I saw it. Yeah, it is. It's hiding in up there. And I can't figure out a way to find the corner to target it from. Tapping that B button. It's back behind there. I guess it's gotta move. Or maybe we'll come back around the other side and take it on. But I imagine there's a cutscene. Yeah.
And here I am. Back to where it all started.
Why would you let your daughter run around a server room?
It's here that you gave birth to me.
Don't you find the expression a little abusive, brother?
It's just a question of perspective. When did you figure it out?
Just now. Edge is H3O. It hit me. It's obvious.
I really want to die. I didn't lie to you.
Who are you? Really?
I am Edge. I am a spontaneous entity born from the putrid pits where everyone flushed their most horrible and painful memories. I am H3O. My first memories are the tears of a girl. I am the child of Memorize and its worst enemy. I am the father of the Leapers and their grim reaper. I am your friend. You must kill me.
And if I don't want to?
There is no choice, sister. I will force you to confront me, and if you do not win, I will destroy you.
Yeah, I guess I missed that scare, Mac. Seems like we're going straight to this. So it seems like we might get another remix, maybe?
I'm afraid.
As am I.
So, Edge is the suicidal memory server of Memorize, that H3O, a name that, if it was hinted at any point earlier in the game, it just clearly blew by without anybody seeing that or hearing that. If anything, the phrase "I died twice" was said by the Leapers a lot more. It's questionable where Edge decided to make himself look this
sister.
way.
Time to break your father's favorite toy.
Edge! Edge, I don't want to fight you.
I am H3O. Edge was just a part of me. An agent. Created, partitioned, and sent on its way to find you and bring you here. But you are an heiress. Sworn to bring an end to the ravages of Sensen. I am H3O. I am Sensen. I am the Leapers. Kill us.
So, does he want to die or does he not want to die? Because the way that was said, it seems like maybe
Destroy
Edge
this black memory cube.
just...
I do not want to remember anymore.
Like, is this an idea of him, H3O, trying to get rid of Edge,
This
or
cube,
him creating
some of the darkest
Edge's,
memories I had to bear. Destroy it.
Alright. We have here a holographic
Destroy
memory.
this black memory cube. I do not want to remember anymore.
Doesn't seem like there's really much else I can do, and killing these guys doesn't feel like it's giving me any experience.
This cube, Some of the darkest memories I had to bear.
So
destroy it.
Shoot it like that. Nope, I did not aim at the right thing.
Destroy this black memory cube.
Use
I do
sense
not
and fury
want to
to destroy
remember
painful
anymore.
memory. Activating a logic bomb might also help. Well, apparently that wasn't hurting me. So it kind of feels like we're getting a pretty bad,
Can you imagine the moment I
pretty bad ending.
stood
Just a
what I was?
very generic, like very generic boss battle. We've seen it hundreds of times before, where like the game has had a giant off the screen experience. Giant off the screen memory. My Spider doesn't feel like it's doing it.
We were friends.
It says weak point spam, but I don't have an infinite amount of things to spam, and when these things knock down, so apparently shooting it is not the right move with the explosive shot. I just need to use a fully charged thing. And now I'm in fury mode, and I'll just hit the Y a lot. And so now we're in a newly remixed section. This is the previous remix I did. So, honestly, is this me remixing myself? Like, because it kind of feels like that might be the case.
You've exceeded my scenario predictions.
Like, this doesn't feel like I'm got tased and it took all.
Your father did not design the H3O server to become what I have become.
Is far too much on the screen, frankly.
But the chance to create custom-made happiness was too tempting.
I'm trying to get my health back up. Oh, ooh, I've got to be real careful. Clearly.
So here I am, an unwanted child,
But
on guilt.
let's just take a moment at the combo lab. We don't have another combo, and there's still 4 things to unlock. So, yeah, and I'm barely gonna unlock one thing. Down. Rustin.
Do you have regrets, Nilin? Right forward. Do you remember how you reorganized his memory? You made his life so unbearable. He had to end it all.
Like, what is this? What is he trying to do? I don't understand the motivation of the guy I'm fighting right now. At all. Does he want me to defeat him? Does he not? Is he trying to kill me? Or is he not? Was it his plan for him to die, or was it that just a lie to get me into the chair? Which, why did I have to sit in the chair? Why didn't he just take control of me as soon as I got in the room? This entire section feels unnecessary, and it's just another, like, icing on the top of all the bad Sensen fights, frankly. There's just like nobody here, and there's like nothing happening. I'm about to die. Will I hit a checkpoint at least? Or am I gonna have to start at the beginning? Well, yeah, I hit a checkpoint, and because I hit a checkpoint, that I don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm trying to kill somebody, or just build up some story.
By the innocent mistake of a naughty little girl. Isn't that ironic?
We don't need this lines of dialogue. In comparison, I would have been happier if she had just walked up and flipped the switch, and we had just had a different experience with Edge throughout the rest of the game. If Edge was always there to help us out, if Edge was the character we could always trust on, and this bro sis stuff is was more realistic instead of creepy as it played off to me. Alright, so we've got to reveal the painful memory this time.
Your mother rebuilt herself without ever forgetting a single second of that moment.
Come on. Alright, how about this? Logic bomb.
But you made her believe that the accident was all her fault.
Like, I don't understand. Is he upset that I did the things he told me to do? Like, seriously. Oh, I'm supposed to go into Fury mode. These Sensens are useless.
No regrets,
the S presence part of it is particularly useless.
You naughty little girl.
They just have you forget about them and then bring them back hours later for one very specific fight. Let's see. Guess we're not to that point yet.
Of course. You didn't know she was your mother when you remixed her.
So, going this route and having Edge as the bad guy, I feel like Nilin should have been more into the idea and committed to killing Edge, H3O, at this point, too. It seems like there should be no, oh, I don't really want to do it, or I'm doing it out of compassion talk. I literally can't target that thing, so am I supposed to do another one of these? Apparently so. Maybe there's... Maybe there is more to that. Alright, I gotta be a little careful here. There's a lot of guys around. Like, do I want to die, or like dying. So am I gonna have to start the whole fight over again? Yes, I am. And remember, I'm playing this on easy mode, and the game's not still easy enough.
A dystopia created in a spark by the innocent mistake of a naughty little girl. Isn't that ironic?
I assume the S person will stay, the bad memory cube will stay where it's supposed to be. So,
Hate, guilt, the desperate need to change the world. Always
let's do a test here. Yeah, that didn't reveal another one. So you do have to take these out one by one. I was out of cycle there, so it didn't really work.
Never forgetting a single second of that moment.
Need to reduce cooldown and bring up enough fury.
You made her believe that the accident was all her fault.
I just got attacked by something that didn't have a... There we go. Didn't have a red thing over it.
Silicar J. Wells, you naughty little girl.
And almost certainly we missed some collectibles, but honestly, it doesn't feel like it really doesn't feel like I could have upgraded my spammer ability. Like, clearly at some point they thought about having something that would upgrade it or make it infinite. Being overcharged at some point in the game would have been desirable. So you could just
Nilin, listen to me.
Spill this out.
I am your father's dream. I am his life.
Still completely confused about the motivation of this character. Am I just killing this guy, or like that? Why am I not remixing H3O's memories? And here we're being allowed to do a much higher combo than we've ever been able to do before. So she's gonna, I assume, do an overload from the air. This is another one of those scenes that makes us feel like this would be much better as a short, you know, it wouldn't be a TV series, it would be a 2-hour movie. Like, I could totally see this being a 2-hour, maybe not in theater, straight to DVD movie. The gameplay elements of this are very limited and small, and I think they would have been a lot more limited and small.
I'm sorry,
if Capcom had. I assume they came in and added all the express and stuff, and the fights,
Finish me.
and the platform.
Now.
Or at least half of it. I don't know. I'm speculating.
The pain is dissolving, and I go with it.
So you get 3,000 for beating him.
In a few seconds,
which is enough to...
my memories will be returned to the people.
to get like one more as
Adieu,
present.
Nilin. Remember you soon.
So Edge / H3O, which is a terrible name, wanted to be destroyed, so all the original memories, I assume, not the remix.
A friend once said, "The memory of a single man is a fortress, more complex than the vastest of cities."
How come they could get her to quote somebody here,
but we invented a
have
key to the
several
fortress.
other quotes just on black screen?
There are no secrets anymore. My friend's name was Edge. Born from the sense and abuses, he was the first to understand that we were all floating adrift. Edge died to remind us that some intimate doors are not supposed to be opened, and that suffering, like painful memories, is just part of life. My name is Nilin Cartier-Wells. I am a memory hunter. I can know everything about you, and I can make you believe whatever I want. This is my gift, my legacy. For the first time in my life, I remember exactly who I am. Outside my fortress, I now have a family to go back to, and a world to confront. A damaged world. A world to heal. This is what my friend taught me before he disappeared. I'll never forget him.
So I kind of thought Nilin would die at the end of the game. Here somebody actually did die. Where do you go with this story if you're going to make a sequel? Don't Nod isn't going to make a sequel. Clearly, Life is Strange is as much the spiritual successor as anything. You can see here Don't Nod's list of employees is not huge. Not enough for the level of ambition that this game was and what it showed off as. Yeah, I don't know what you do. Now I guess Sensens don't work and you can't trade and move memories around, but one would assume if there was a sequel, Nilin with her gloves could still move memories around. But you'd have to introduce a whole new collection of bad guys, which this really was a boss rush of random bad guys that weren't even really so much working for the same organization as much as they were each in a system that was doing bad with the sensing technology, which would have worked better had there been more memory remixes and more episodes. I would have much enjoyed it more if it was 16 episodes or 12 episodes that were just memory remixes, separated out. Something like L.A. Noire kind of did that, although L.A. Noire had the power of Rockstar behind it, and L.A. Noire is actually a rather large game for what it's doing. Apparently, the audio programmers number in the 2, graphic programmers number in the 2, so no surprise we saw throughout the course of playing this game graphic glitches, audio glitches. The audio is way too loud right now. Apologies. Even office managers and personal assistants are getting listed. Interesting. Yeah, way too ambitious a game. And with so many cutscenes in it, it really does feel like this was going to be a 2-hour movie and got turned into a game. Which is weird because usually you see games that are mediocre get turned into direct-to-DVD movies. They're so focused on the story here, but oddly the story's not that good either. no amazingly surprising twists. Nothing really, nothing new, no new concepts really. This seems like they probably were playing heavily with motion capture and animation to make this look super realistic. I could easily see, had this just been a Japanese game, going with your standard 2D CGI 3D anime style characters, and you would have something rather familiar there. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this story was at least in part expanded on by a Japanese, by Capcom or some Japanese director or writer, because of just how much it is cyberpunk and dealing with memories. But they went with a hyper-realistic art style, and Nilin certainly is a good sell. Putting her on the box would have gotten a lot of people to buy the game with sight on Steam. And then I imagine a lot of people were not happy with it. Oddly, this game is rated 90% on Steam right now. And I said that at the beginning of this series, is like, well, I'd heard all of these critics when this game coming out complaining about the Sensen system and the fighting system. And then I saw it was 90% positive on Steam. I have to side with the critics, and I don't enjoy saying that. The mainstream big critics, I have to side with this. The Sensen system's awful, and many different ways you could have fixed that. You could have gotten rid of it completely and just let me hit the X button and the Y button and fight. That would have been perfectly fine. At least make it an option, so I was constantly in fury mode, basically. You could have also just had me do a lot more damage when I achieved the combo, and still do damage even when I only pressed one button of a combo. Looking here, it seems like it was Capcom USA that they worked with. Let's see, and under Capcom USA you have product development. And let's see how many employees actually worked under Capcom. Additional product development support was 5 more programmers, assumingly 5 more people working on the game that didn't have, and they only seem to probably have about 10 or 20. A lot of business operations seem to have been run by Capcom. It definitely feels like Capcom was running the show, and Don't Nod was basically just doing support work for them. But oddly, this game is more sold as, or at least it struck in my mind as a Don't Nod game first and foremost, when arguably this is a Capcom game first and foremost. I'm not sure Capcom really cares about having Western new IP, frankly. I'm not sure Capcom in 2018 really cares about any new IP at all. Kusa Territory Marketing, I guess that's Canada and the USA, or maybe all of these. It would have to be like Canada and the USA. A lot of marketing clearly put into this game. I really have to feel like this was a failure of Don't Nod, though. And I'm surprised they even got to make Life is Strange. That being said, Life is Strange 1 is a darling of the mainstream critics, but I played it and it was alright, but it wasn't as good as it was hyped up to be, and it certainly didn't encourage me to play Life is Strange Before the Storm or The Adventures of Captain Awesome, which is a free demo, didn't bother to play that, or Life is Strange 2. So yeah, we might be able to blame the localization and the programmers here for the PC version on some of the bugs, but maybe not. That's a hard decision. Do you blame the port team that ports over a game to PC from 2010 for the bugs, or do you blame the original developers? This is a Unreal game. It should have kind of just ported over and worked, but it's never that simple. I don't know what else I can even say. I'm trying to think back. It's like, poor Olga plays no role in the story. It still feels like that they were at least thinking about having a second playthrough where you play as Olga. Maybe we'll get a skin where we can play as Olga and play the game a second time. Otherwise, she had like no point. The barkeep guy didn't seem like he mattered in the story. Several of the bosses were only introduced halfway through their own episode, and then that was it. I would have much preferred all the bad guys introduced at the beginning and shown why they were bad and why we're going after them. Yep, Unreal Engine and Morphine, never heard of that one. Bing Video, people still using Bing Video and Autodesk scale form, and WWIs, which these are some very basic technologies that you would use, very standard. So at least Don't Nod was doing the right thing. They weren't trying to make their own engine. I kind of wonder, how would this game play differently if you had the French language on with, if you can do that. Can you do French with English subtitles? Because that might affect your enjoyment a little bit, but not much. What you saw there was pretty short credits. It's taking forever. They really need to improve with the credits to either have 2 columns or scroll faster. I know in movies there's like union negotiations about how long, how many frames each name has to be on the screen, and everybody has to be thanked. But like right now, it's just giving thanks to people. So there's really no reason why this has to be in the middle of the screen scrolling out like this. I will say that I kind of had the feeling that there was just 2 main French guys in charge of Don't Nod, and from the developer's commentary of Life is Strange, it seems like that's not too off, but there definitely are closer to 30 or 40 people that were at Don't Nod when this game was being made. And several people had babies. Yeah, the story is so unimportant. Like, it's just so unimportant right now. I couldn't even care. And see, now it's just, the save file has you at 93% done. And where are you now on the artwork? Do we even really care? Just more of this art that is not even, it's not even in line with what the final product is. So there is a concept artist drawing all of these, which this is quite a lot for a game to show. Feels like it might have been the entire collection of concept art that they paid an artist to make, and then the 3D artists came in and did not a lot of didn't stick to the art style very much. If this was the actual art style of the game, that would be quite interesting, but that also would be in line of a point-and-click style game, something closer to Life is Strange. I thought Saint Michel should have been a much more semi-open world. If they had just gotten even a central hub with the rich part of the town in the middle, or you know, you could have had the final boss tower in the middle, and then 1/3 of it, of a circle around it, was the slums, and 1/3 of it was the rich part of the tower, and 1/3 of it was the prison. Something like that. That would be pretty too symmetric for it. Here in this idea, there are actually people in the server rooms. Man, did those androids not play any role at all? That was just a waste of time. Like, why are there androids in this game? You never fight them. They never do anything with you. They also over-focus on Jax, which there was a thought in my head that maybe the twist was Jax somehow. That he had been plugged into H3O and gone crazy. This guy definitely needed to be shown at the beginning of the game as the main bad guy more often. I know he was mentioned, and I know there was a picture of him. Same is true for your mother. These guys needed to have really appeared a lot more often and shown their face and reacted to everything you were doing. And it just didn't happen. As for achievements, yeah, there's just a ton of things you're very unlikely to get. This is one of those early achievement games. Maybe it would be worth it if you really love the memory remixes. The 4 or 5 of them there are. Really, there's only about 3 to try and go find all the bugs, but not really. And so let's see if I can do this before we just wrap up. I want to see voice language, French, back. Did I hit save when I did that? Yes. Alright. And let's just replay the story. You will play the story. Enemies don't give PMP any longer. You'll still PMP for 6-hit combos and when you find scare mechs. Okay. And if you went to Memory Hunter at this point,
le bateau a coulé. J'ai été la seule réfugiée à gagner la
and you can't skip this, can you?
J'ai serré la main de mon mari jusqu'à la dernière seconde. Je sens encore
I
la
don't
force
put that French
de ses ongles
voice
contre
with
mes
that
doigts.
lady.
Vous savez,
Cette première nuit où il m'a dit « partageons nos souvenirs », je me souviens que j'étais un peu inquiète.
I don't think their lips are really
Il a souri.
synchronizing with what they're saying.
On a appuyé en même
It
temps.
seems like the lip motion and the lip
Tout à
clap
coup,
is
j'ai
to the
tout
English language.
ressenti. Pour la première fois, je vivais tout son amour pour moi. C'était tellement chaud et fort que ça faisait presque mal.
There's really not
Ça va faire
enough
3 ans que nous vivons chaque jour,
speech here
comme le premier.
There's not enough good
Il faisait
written
tellement chaud ce
dialogue
jour-là.
to
Et il y avait cette odeur tenace de
justify-
plastique brûlé dans les rues. J'ai marché à travers la ville avec les autres enfants jusqu'à ce qu'on arrive tous à la sortie de Paris. Personne n'a tiré. La guerre était terminée. Je sais pas si j'aurai le courage d'offrir un jour tous ces
Yeah, this
souvenirs
feels
à mon
like
fils.
it's much better to
Mais je suis
play in
soulagé de
native
savoir qu'ils sont à
language.
l'abri de tout risque.
grâce
really
à mon
wanted to
Sensen,
hear-
je choisis de
hear
me souvenir
Nilin
des moments
talk.
importants de ma vie.
And there's so much cutscenes at the beginning of this game that
Grâce
I've
à mon
kind of
Sensen.
forgotten about that.
Mon mari est encore bien vivant.
Like,
Là.
let's just look
Et là,
See, we're already 20 minutes over, but let's just look to see how quickly I can run. And see, Sensen came out in 2084, and apparently everybody's got them already. I probably should have just tried to load a different chapter, but I don't think that was an option. Why, by the way, was she in here in the first place? Like, did the parents not have any control over this prison? Was she snuck in here under a different name? Like, honestly, like, Madame should have handed her over to her parents immediately.
Quel est votre nom?
Nilin.
En quelle année? Répétez ça.
Nilin.
Mince, c'est une première. Pas grave, on raclera les derniers souvenirs. En quelle année sommes-nous?
Je sais pas.
C'est 2084. Vous savez où vous êtes?
Non.
Pas si résistante que ça, finalement. Merci.
I'm not sure if these faces. I'm not sure if these faces really strike me as French people, but in 2084, who knows what that would be.
Ce sujet se montre résistant.
Achevez le protocole de
Still can't skip.
substitution, puis envoyez-la moi. Je me chargerai d'effacer ces dernières réticences.
Bien, docteur.
No new outfit unlocked. No, nothing like that. And honestly, this first section is so bad. I don't know if I really would want to have to replay this part, because it's gonna take so long.
Levez la tête, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Maintenant, levez-vous.
So, yeah. Why was she in the cell?
Jusqu'à votre prochaine affectation.
Où suis-je?
Don't Nod Entertainment Production. Yeah, this does feel like this was supposed to be a 2-hour movie. I know I goofed around the first time looking to see.
Je me souviens de rien.
See if there was something to collect when I first did this, but we'll just run through this. Why it's just constantly scanning you seems ridiculous.
Rien ne va.
Maybe the name Nilin is kind of common and they didn't know this was Nilin Carter Wells. Or maybe this was because your mother hated you and blamed you for the accident and she intentionally threw you in this place. Still really no explanation as to why this, why they're... I guess this is just turning people into lepers.
Nilin, tu m'entends?
Oui.
Ils vont effacer la cervelle, Nilin. Ne les laisse pas faire.
I will say Nilin and Echo's voices are kind of better in French.
Je suis la voix que tu
but I
dois
wouldn't
écouter
want to
si
read
tu veux
these
vivre.
subtitles. That is really too small. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to continue this though. Like that. Let's see, can we load an episode 1? And I guess we could. Can we change the difficulty and then do just episode? If we come over here, go over to this, change it to memory hunter mode. Yeah, it seems like you could probably cheat the game and get the final achievements if you just load it into this section. Current progress and save points. Yeah, you can just load it immediately at a different difficulty. So, yeah, I don't know how that would really work. Maybe it checks to see that you beat everything under.
À l'heure d'affronter mon père, mon histoire demeure criblée de trous, d'ombres jetées sur la toile de ma vie. J'étais Nilin, une terroriste, crainte et détestée. Capable d'altérer vos souvenirs à ma convenance.
At this point, I'm just kind of rambling. There's really nothing to say about this
quartiers Wells.
Get it cheap.
Famille vénérée par la société qu'ils avaient conçue.
Than $5.
Ombre et lumière.
C'est
à moi de réparer
les
erreurs
really
commises par les miens, tandis que le chaos menace de tout emporter. Il est temps pour mon père de goûter enfin au poison que nous avons tous bu. Edge me guide. Je suis prête.
But so many of the achievements require you to do things that you're not likely to do on the first try. Clearly this game is designed to waste your time and make you wow, that I don't think that was supposed to happen. I think it just fell from the sky.
Le cœur de la corruption. Cette fois, c'est la bonne. Faut en finir.
Parle-moi de mon père, Edge.
Charles Cartier-Wells s'est retiré ici pendant des années pour continuer de rêver à son futur idéal. C'est ici qu'H3O a été conçu.
H3O?
Le serveur central de Memorize. L'endroit où tous les souvenirs sont stockés. Seul ton père peut y entrer. À toi de jouer. Convainc-le de t'en accorder l'accès.
Finissons-en.
Edge sounds rather different in French than English. Yeah, I'm done with this game. I'm done with this series. If you wanted to skip this whole game and just watch all the cutscenes, that's probably your best experience. Hopefully I've made enough episodes, so we will now be moving into Halloween month. That's it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. If you want to friend or follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description. Also Facebook. I always forget Facebook. If you want to support me, my only monetization idea right now is to ask people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game or a gift card. If you can't pick a game that you want to see me cover, you can look at my wish list. There's lots of games there for consideration. The other thing is, if you just happen to have a Steam code from some other site like Humble Bundle, direct message that code to me on Twitter and I'll get it. If you see any ads on my channel right now, feel free to skip them, because those aren't going to me. Yeah, this is certainly a weird one. Way too ambitious. Just way too ambitious for the first game from Don't Nod. And when you see Life is Strange and how that is dialed back and more realistic, and how it succeeded for being a little bit more dialed back and realistic, and not having a fighting system, and not going for a rather long time, and this game really is rather long considering how little it does and has to say. One thing I can say about all those Steam developers that make subpar games is at least they're not doing something like Don't Nod that looks very pretty and catches your eye, but then turns out to not be too good of a game when you actually get the controller in your hands. Although that is starting to become the new wave of subpar games on Steam, is very pretty asset flips from Unity. That's it for this series. Also, if you want to see a different game, I have a playlist for every single game I've ever covered. There's also a playlist called Episode Number Ones, so you can just see the first episode of every game I've covered and decide from watching that. So check out my Facebook page, not Facebook page, my YouTube page, playlist tab for those. Yes, that's enough of a wrap up. We've gone 30 minutes over. That's it for this series. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.